Thanks for watching this interview with Chelsea Berman. You are watching Summit Country Music, a channel dedicated to Australian country music artists. If you would like to see more interviews like this, please subscribe to the channel and perhaps also click like on this interview. That'd be great. Thank you. Chelsea Berman is a country pop artist from the Central Coast of New South Wales, and she has been a Toyota Star Maker Grand Finalist, performed at Gympie Music Muster and Groundwater and other festivals, as well as joining artists like Brad Cox on tour. She now has a new EP called Like Me Better, which I'm really keen to talk to her about because it's a whole journey from darkness into light, I think, and therefore I think it's highly relatable for a lot of people. So hello, Chelsea.
Hello, thank you so much. Yes, that's definitely the journey of the EP for sure.
Yeah, and it's a great journey. It's a thought-provoking journey, and I'd really like to know when you started writing the songs for it.
Yes, that's a great question. Hurt Like This is the one that's existed the longest.
Okay.
And I started writing that, I think it was 2023,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, so that was like the first. I mean, again, that's I would talk about it, but I went through many different variations, so it wasn't really Hurt Like This at that stage.
Okay.
But yeah, and then the others were mostly in my Nashville trip in last year, 2024. Yeah.
Okay. So did you go to Nashville specifically for songwriting?
This time, yeah. So I went the year before, and that was more to just go for the first time, check it out. I had a few songwrites, but it wasn't the main focus at all. It was just having fun.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the second year I went definitely to write for this project, really. Yeah.
Australian artists seem to be really efficient when they go to Nashville because it often is with that thing of I'm working towards something. But also it seems kind of hectic. It's like you're in the room. Sometimes it's people you don't know, and you just got to you've got to come up with a song.
Yeah, it's crazy because they all do it like full time for their job. So as soon as you go in the room, they're like, "Yeah, we're getting this song today," and it's just like you do get it done, like no matter what. I don't know how they do it, but it happens somehow. It's
So
magic.
do you go, yeah, it is, I think it's magic. Do you go in with ideas already and if they are ideas, are they like at various stages of development or do you tend to always go in with, say, like a chorus?
I definitely go in with ideas. Most of the time, that's probably all. Like, I think sometimes it's a few lyrics.
Mhm.
But with those Nashville writers, like, I want as much of their creativity as possible because they are so incredibly talented. So I don't like going in with too much.
Right.
But yeah, I always go in with an idea because, they are such personal songs. So I always have something that I want to write about.
And is it the just that do you think it's the nature of having booked the song right that it focuses your mind and you know you've got to get it done and so that's really beneficial, or is it just generally that you like collaboration?
Oh, probably a bit of both. I do write a lot less by myself now these days, because yeah, I feel like now that I have had so much collaboration, I just love that. And I do, you do struggle to get a song, I think, completed by yourself because you get distracted or, you don't really have that dedicated time set aside. Whereas, when you are booking these co-writes with anyone, you have that dedicated time and you want to get the song done. So yeah, I think that definitely helps finish it at least.
Yeah. So, given that you wrote most of them in the same time period, did they all get recorded at once?
They didn't. I kind of, I guess, recorded them in the order that I released the singles. So I think Like Me Better was first. Yes. I need to remember this. Testing my memory. Like Me Better was first, and then Sober Now. And then I recorded the other three in like 2 weekends. So the other three were kind of the extras. I think that's all the song. Oh, Crush as well. I forgot about that. That was after Sober Now. So yeah, I recorded it like when I released the singles, and then the other three I recorded kind of when I knew the EP needed to be done, basically.
Yeah, right. And who was your producer or producers for this?
Yeah, just one producer, Reese Zaka from Spinlight Studios in Newcastle. I've worked with him on quite a few songs now, and he did the whole EP, which was really fun.
I think he also produces Jake Davey, and I noticed Jake is one of your co-writers.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
and yes. Yes,
yeah.
and I went to his wedding actually on the weekend, which was
Oh,
fun.
there you
Yeah.
go. It's there you go. It's the north of Sydney community, the Newcastle Central Coast community. Yeah.
Yes, very small. Everyone knows everyone.
Which is good, a good and a bad thing. So I'd like to go through the EP track by track because, as I said at the top, it is a journey from darkness into light, and you really don't shy away from some hard subjects. And also, I think the way you sing about some of these subjects is fantastic because it's really direct, and so you're not using metaphors, you're not actually over, you're not using a lot of adjectives even. You're telling a story and you're being really upfront about things. And so 20 something, the first track is about the pressure to be and do so much in that decade. And I'm long past my 20s, and I look back at or look at young women in particular in that decade, I think, God, there's just so much time. But yes, you can see the social pressure and you name those pressures in that song. And I'm wondering if for you, you felt that there's one pressure that's been greater than the others.
Yeah, great question. I mean, I think all of them really. Like, I feel like not necessarily a lot of my friends have kind of gotten married and bought the house and had the kids. But I think it's just like a lot of people my age and like people I went to school with, and you see it all on social media nowadays. It's all around you. And you're kind of like, oh, why am I not at that stage of my life yet? And I definitely had a plan for my life. Like when I was in my early 20s, I was in a long-term relationship. We were about to buy a house, and that was like very much my plan. And then when that now, I'm in my late 20s now. And that hasn't happened, which I'm so grateful it didn't happen. But it's just, yeah, I think that you feel like you're doing something wrong, and you feel like you're not on this stupid timeline that you created for yourself or society's created. So yeah, I don't think any specific pressure. I mean, probably buying a house, that's what everyone seems to be talking about nowadays. But I'm just traveling instead, which is a lot more fun.
Well, and you are from Sydney originally, and yeah, that is what everyone talks about. It's in
Yeah,
the media. Yeah, it's a subject. Yeah.
not a fun one.
Yeah, that's right. But I also think the decision to engage in a creative life, as you have done, sort of in one respect immediately puts you outside of the normal expectations. But then I can also see, yeah, there are still those expectations there, and there's this kind of an expectation that you'll have the creative life and wedge it into everything else you're supposedly meant to be doing.
Yes, which is, I mean, not impossible because people do it, but definitely a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not a lifestyle that's conducive to conventional things a lot of the time. You're working at night, you might be traveling, touring, for example. So, yeah. Wondering if writing the song actually helped you let go of some of those pressures.
For sure. I mean, I wrote this closer to my last birthday, which was last year, middle of last year. And at that time, I really felt like I was deep in that existential crisis, as I say in the song,
Yeah.
and just feeling, very lost. But I feel like not necessarily writing it because I did write it a while ago, but I feel like recording it and releasing it has really helped me like just accept it and move on from that feeling, which I feel like a lot of the time I do with my songs. Like once I've actually released it, it's kind of like that relief and that weight lifted off, and you just feel so different about the situation to when you wrote it. So yeah, definitely it's helped me not feel that way anymore, which is great.
I think it's part of the paradox of being an artist, which is that you put songs out, which is an amazing achievement, like to write them, to get to the point of recording them and releasing them. But then, of course, you've got to move on. There are new songs to write. So you don't ever really get the chance to enjoy it, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's always like on to the next thing. But with this EP, I feel like, I mean, I still definitely have that thing of all the anticipation, all the work, and then you've released it, and then you're like, okay, cool, now what? But for this EP, like I am having a little bit of a break from releasing music, so I feel like I can sit on this longer and really appreciate it and appreciate all the work that myself and everyone put into it.
I should also ask, when you had written those songs in Nashville, did you actually perceive the shape of the EP at that time? Like, were you thinking, I want this to be an art?
No. I mean I was writing for an EP, but I also I didn't have a storyline to go with it or anything. Like I wasn't really organized yet, obviously. I just kind of wanted to see what songs we wrote. And you never know also which ones are going to be your favorite. So you might say, yeah, I definitely want a song about this on the EP, but you might go and write it and it hasn't really turned out how you wanted to. So yeah, it's definitely just a creative process, but I feel like probably only at the start of this year I kind of could see all the songs coming together. I still went back and forth on like what I wanted on there. And I think I forgot a song before when I was talking about it. Did You Try was the one that we wrote the closest, I guess, to the EP launch. So that one was just like that extra song that I think tied up the whole story. And I'm really glad, we put that on there as well.
Yeah. So that is track 4, I think. Track 2 is Hurt Like This, and there's a question mark on it. And there's no way around it. This song depicts a devastating story. And there's a line in it about you lying terrified in bed, which I think, in the context of the song, is really a moment, and people will have to listen to the song to understand what I mean by that. But that's there are a lot of women who would resonate with that, unfortunately. So I'm wondering how long it took you to decide to write. You said it was the earliest song that was written, but was there a process in getting to the point of writing it?
Definitely a process. Yeah, when I first started writing it in 2023, I think it was. Um, it was just kind of a journal entry in a song, which is what, a lot of us songwriters do. And the very first line is the line that stayed, I think the only line that stayed throughout the whole writing process. But yeah, I really just wrote it for myself. I was going through it at the time and I just needed to, get my feelings out and I kind of start to process what had happened. Um, but yeah, it was only kind of, I think, maybe towards the end of last year that I contacted Alice Fion, who I wrote it with. And I kind of showed her what I had. And she was like, yeah, we need to write this. And again, we went back and forth so many times. Like, I think the first time we had a Zoom and wrote quite a bit of it, but we still had a lot of gaps. And we still didn't really know what the message was. Like, it's really hard with a song like that to figure out what the actual message is rather than just saying everything that happened.
Hmm.
Um, so that was tricky for sure, but she was, yeah, such a big help. I definitely could not have written that song by myself, without her. I mean, and even releasing it, like when I wanted to record it, I was messaging her, like, I don't know if I can do this and, give this song to the public and all of those feelings that go through it. Even accepting it myself was so hard. So I'm like, I don't know how I can then go and tell everyone else as well through this song. But she was so helpful and just like talking me through that process. And yeah, so glad that I did decide to release it, even though it was very hard. But yeah, definitely a process to write it as well, for sure.
Have you had some feedback about it from people contacting you?
Yeah, I have, which has been amazing. I mean, heartbreaking as well every time that someone says they can relate to it, for sure, as you said. Um, but it does, I guess, yeah, make me feel better about releasing it because I know that it's helped someone else or, resonated with someone else. Because I know for me, like music is what helps me get through things and process things. And, if someone writes a song that really speaks to me, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And it like really just, yeah, helps that emotional healing process. So, yeah, I just really wanted that song to be able to do that for someone else. And hopefully it has.
Yeah, because you don't hear many songs like that. I remember when Amber Lawrence released Living for the Highlights, and she had a song called You Were Mine, which was about losing her second child.
Mm.
And at the time, I said to her, I've never heard a song about this subject, especially expressed in this way. And I had that feeling listening to your song. Now, I've heard certain songs about women's experiences in relationships before, but it was just the way you expressed this and also the way it was produced and the way you sang it was there's a certain resigned tone in your voice, not like there's not a pleading, there's not a like a triumphant tone like I've made it past. It was actually this. So I think in that you delivered it the way you probably felt, which adds to the heartbreak.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it wasn't an easy recording process at all. And it's crazy because it was like, so after the fact that it happened, like I recorded that really only 2 months or so before the EP came out, and this, happened so long ago. But yeah, it's like you're in that dark recording booth, you're singing this song about what you went through, and it just kind of all hits you, I think. But yeah, as soon as I left that recording studio, as I said before, it was just like a weight had lifted.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of a weird part of being a musician and having this weird healing process where we have to record a song about what we've been through to actually process it. It's interesting, but yeah, it works.
Yeah. And you said you were talking to Alice about what the message of the song might be, and I think the line in it about realizing that you're not the problem, that he has a problem was
Mm.
actually a really an elegant way to put it. And that might sound an unusual word, but we can so often try to trip ourselves up with thinking, how do I describe this? But it's actually just shifting that perspective was so interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I love that part. And yeah, that ended up being well the bridge and the outro. But yeah, we had like a much wordier bridge that we originally wrote. But it just like didn't need that. Like those, I think, yeah, two lines sum it up so well. So yeah, really glad that we made that decision to just change it and make it more simple. Because yeah, I think a song like that, obviously there's so much going on, there's so much being told. So the more simple you can make it, the better in some ways.
Yeah. And so I think it's that it's the discipline of being an artist, but also I think an artist with experience now as you are, because you've released an earlier EP, you had quite a lot of singles out. So it's not I don't know that you could have made those recording decisions if this had come earlier in your career.
No, definitely. And yeah, I mean, I definitely would have even written or recorded a song like that earlier in my career. So yeah, definitely something that I've learnt to tell those stories and yeah, tell them in a way that makes sense for me for sure.
So you released a single called Your Call in 2020. You wrote it with Melanie Dyer, and it's an incredibly vulnerable song, and it's also devastating in its own way. And I actually couldn't help thinking about it when I was listening to Hurt Like This, and I think it was partly that in Your Call you have it's not a resigned vocal. It's actually a really it's almost like you've ripped open your own heart and you're showing it vocal. So it seemed almost like that was the start of a process that led to Hurt Like This, if that makes sense. And I'm wondering if they are related songs.
They're not. I'd love to say they were because that would be a great story. But no, that song just came from like I think Mel and I's previous experiences just in, dating and just
Mhm.
feeling like you're not good enough. I feel like that's where that song came from, and it wasn't really about a specific situation at that time. Like I think I was just again earlier in my career just writing about certain topics and certain themes or feelings that I felt, but it wasn't like a very specific situation.
Right.
Whereas now I've just gotten super specific, which is great.
Well, the specific is universal, as I'm fond of saying, and I didn't come up with it. So, someone else has said that, but I think that is really true. And after Hurt Like This, we move into Sober Now and Did You Try? So, Sober Now definitely feels like it's playing out the process. So, I am really interested in the structure of this EP because 20 something is sort of setting up this thing of, well, I kind of feel like I've failed at certain life goals, but then Hurt Like This tells us why
Yeah,
partly why that might have happened, and then Sober Now is the beginning of the recovery process from that.
definitely. Yeah, and Sober Now and Hurt Like This are definitely related, as people can probably tell. But yeah, Sober Now, not that it's a happy song, but it is more that kind of healing and hopeful, I guess, version of Hurt Like This. And just, yeah, talking about that kind of roller coaster that is an abusive or toxic relationship. And yeah, I think that one probably not as specific. Like I feel it can be applied to a lot of different relationships and different situations. So yeah, that was a Nashville right that I really liked. But yes, is related.
And then Did You Try? I think I saw something saying that you wrote that with Chloe Styler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously she was in Nashville at the same time.
So this one was actually after Nashville because this one we only wrote in I think January of this year. So this was just kind of like a bit of an extra addition. It was something that had just happened, and I was like, I just need to write a song about it. And at the time, Chloe and I were like writing a lot, and we're great friends, so she knew everything that was going on in my life anyway. So yeah, we just wrote this song, and then I just loved it so much, and I was like, this needs to be on the EP, even though it doesn't really necessarily relate to the previous songs before it. It kind of does in a way, and it just tells a bit of a different story of heartbreak, I think.
Yeah, and I think you could see it as the resolution of the process in a way of just of actually with a bit of distance. If you're taking the kinder interpretation of things, like let's just look at the fact that I tried and you didn't.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
So we then move on to Crush, and there is a narrative twist at the start of this song, which is we think the you that you're addressing is your crush because that's the way most songs would go.
Yeah.
But instead, the crush is the she of the story, not the you of the story. So I'm wondering if that twist was in it from the start.
Yeah, so this song was a Nashville write, and I just kind of had the idea to write a song about a girl. I didn't know how it would go. I didn't know what the storyline was, and we got in the write, and I think I was talking to Jake about it first, like Jake Davey, because we were staying together in Nashville at that time. And yeah, I think we were just maybe talking about my ex's new girlfriend. It just came up, and I think he was like, "Oh, we should like write the song about her and like make it a whole story." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fun." Because I wanted it to be like a fun song. And yeah, I love that we put that twist in there because I think it is unexpected. And yeah, I just love how that song all came to be for sure.
Yeah, and it's there's a video to go with it, which looks like it's at a Central Coast beach. I was trying to identify which one.
I think it was, oh God, I think it was Copacabana.
All right. Yeah. So you're
Yeah.
making good use of the area. Well, that I was going to ask, did you write that in a room or on Zoom? But it was with what was in person. So Jake Davey, another Australian who obviously is going to Nashville on a regular basis.
Yes, we all are now. It's crazy. But yes, we wrote that together. That I think that's my second cut with him now. The other one was Break Up Again. But yeah, love writing with him. He just brings so much energy, as I'm sure anyone that's met him knows. He's just a ball of energy. So he brings that to the right, which is really fun.
Yeah, so thematically we do move like from those first few songs and into this, which sort of promises a new dawn. So, at what stage of the recording process did this one come?
Yeah, so this one was pretty much before the single was released, which was this year. My memory is so bad. So yeah, I think I recorded it at the start of this year, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, obviously wrote it middle of last year and like was playing it at a lot of gigs, and every time I just felt so good playing it, and I just knew that I wanted to release it as a single, but I also felt like it had a part on the EP because it is a different side of myself. It is, you know, a different era of my 20s. And yeah, I really just thought that story had to be told on the EP, even though it's not necessarily related to all the others.
But it kind of is because it's it's life stuff. It's good.
Yeah.
It's good to have it.
Exes, you know.
Yeah. Now we end with "Like Me Better," which is about liking your, which is a good mission statement. This song, I think, because it's about liking yourself first and foremost and making choices based on that. Actually, I think it's something. This is something that can take a while to arrive in any woman's life, actually, because girls and women are really conditioned to not like themselves. So, and especially when we look at the subject matter of some of the earlier songs, you were probably programmed to not like yourself for quite a few years. So I'm wondering if your creative practice has played a role in you liking you better, and also at which point you had that realization that actually, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always a process to loving yourself and, you know, having that self-confidence. One that I'm definitely still going through, but like I feel like I can confidently say at this point in my life, like I love myself the most that I ever have, which is amazing to feel like that. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, this song was actually the first one that was recorded from the whole EP, even though I put it at the end. And I was thinking for so long to like put it at the start or the end. But I'm really glad I put it at the end because yeah, I feel like it is, again, even though it was recorded and written first, it is that kind of final piece of the puzzle. And really is, yeah, despite, you know, all of these horrible relationships, all of these things that have happened, you know, I have chosen myself and I have gotten out of those situations. And yeah, because of that, you know, I truly do love myself. So yeah, I love that song. It's very positive. It has a lot of feels for me. And I feel like everyone else who has heard it as well, for sure.
Yeah, it's great, and I do, and I mean it when I say it's a mission statement. I think it's something that people should practice, and they can play the song to practice it. It also, and I love this, contains a reference to Pinterest boards. And I was trying to think of another song that actually mentions them because Pinterest is actually the world's third largest search engine,
I have
so
heard that.
it is hugely popular, but does not turn up in songs.
I mean, it's kind of hard to sing and like rhyme with stuff. So I don't really know how we managed to pop it in there, but we did. I'm glad we did. It's fun.
So it begs the question, of course, are you keeping Pinterest boards? And if so, what are they about?
I'm not. I'm not keeping Pinterest boards of wedding dresses like I say in the song, that's for sure. But yeah, I do Pinterest sometimes. I Pinterest a lot for work. I work in marketing, so it's definitely something that I find photos on and use as a search engine. But actually, I do also use it for photo shoot inspo, definitely. So yeah, all my photo shoots, I usually make a little Pinterest board. So yeah, love Pinterest.
There you go. I was just when the lyric popped up, I thought, well, great. Finally,
Yeah.
someone's mentioned it. So you had a launch gig for the EP on the Central Coast. How did that go?
So good. Yeah, it was like a lot more of an intimate show than I usually do. The venue that we did it at, which was the Savoy in Long Jetty, and if you haven't been there, if you're local to the coast or not, would definitely recommend. They have recently turned into a live music venue, and they're just killing it. But yeah, it used to be like an old school theater, like cinema. So it was kind of like there's usually a cinema screen behind me, but we had kind of the curtains closed, and then all the seats are kind of like tiered up, which is really, I think, interesting for a gig. I don't think I've ever played a gig with that kind of arrangement, everyone looking kind of down on you. Not in that way, physically
Yeah.
speaking, not looking down on me. But yeah, it was really cool, and it was just acoustic. I had two amazing guitarists play with me, and yeah, just so many people that I loved in the room, and like people singing along. It's just, yeah, it was just a really great night.
It seems like the coast is getting some more venues. There was something I'm hearing about, the one in Terrigal that's open recently, and it seems like there's been long been a country music community on the coast, but venue wise, it doesn't seem to have been there until now.
Yeah, always been a struggle to book shows on the coast, like to have ticketed original shows and hard to find venues. So definitely glad that there's more coming up and makes my life a lot easier.
So now that the EP is out, do you feel a sense of resolution? Like, okay, done, and I'm interested whether you started writing any new songs and whether they're coming from a different place from the Like Me Better place.
Yeah, I mean, I think they definitely will. I haven't written anything since the EP, I don't think. But yeah, I just kind of feel good that it's out and that it was received so well. And like, even just my life, I feel like I've now closed that chapter in my life, which is also great, obviously, considering the subject matter. But yeah, I feel like that the Like Me Better would definitely be kind of the path that I would be going on next with my music. I still love a sad song and I still want to write some sad songs, but I definitely might also have some positive ones for once, which is great.
Well, I look at the conundrum here is that you do a sad song really well. Not that I'm encouraging you to have material for a sad song, but there are also songs that can't, not every singer can do them justice, I think, because it does require you as a singer to be really vulnerable because often the way they're produced, it's your vocal and not much else.
Yes, it's definitely scary. But yeah, I feel like it just nothing hits quite like a sad song with, just acoustic or piano in the background. I love them myself, so yeah, I try to give them to people as well.
So, any plans for the rest of the year, festival wise?
Yes, I have a festival I'm playing in September in Switzerland, actually, which is crazy. Yeah, so random. So that's my plan at the moment, and kind of working towards that because I need to start getting myself organized. I'm going to make a bit of a Euro trip out of it while I'm over there. But yeah, playing Rock Meets Country, which is a festival in Switzerland, and I'm on the country side of that, obviously not the rock. But yeah, really excited to see what that's all about.
I know Jay Santilli just played an Italian country music festival. This is the first I've heard of a Swiss country music festival. How do you even find out about that?
I literally just got an email,
Oh,
and I thought it was spam at first because I was like, "Why would Switzerland random music festival be asking me to play?" Because I still don't even know like how they found me or anything. I don't know. But eventually, got talking, realized it was real. Got a contract, all of those things. So yeah, just kind of waiting to go over there and see what it's like because I really have no clue. Because I don't think they've even done this specific festival before. So yeah, I feel like it's going to just be an experience, but a fun one. I'm sure that I will definitely share on socials so everyone else can be a part of the experience too, because I'm sure it will be interesting.
very interesting. And maybe the clue in how they found you is that there was something released about, yes, Spotify releasing where audiences are for Australian music, and they're
Mm,
so all over the globe.
true. Yeah, I actually should check what my Switzerland audience is like. 'Cause maybe I'm huge in Switzerland. Who knows?
Well, you might be. This is the thing, I guess. It's not like they're sending you an alert saying you are.
Yeah, I know. I'll have to check out the data, but yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it's just I was gonna say no at first because I was just like a bit nervous. I'm going over by myself. Like I just thought it was a big thing to do, but I was like, why would I not take a free trip to Switzerland and also get to play over there? Like I'd be silly to turn that down, so I didn't.
Yeah. So, will you have physical copies of the EP with you when you go, or are they available for people if they want them?
I haven't done a physical copy of this EP, purely because I still have so many physical copies of my other EPs. And yeah, I feel like I didn't have the room or the space, or I feel like people just don't. I know I still love a physical copy, and I know there are some people that love a physical copy, but I don't think it would have been kind of enough to make it viable. And yeah, I just don't want to store them for years to come, basically.
I think that's what it's coming to, isn't it? But look, it's something to cherish, I think, for people even on a streaming platform, or especially on a streaming platform, because that's where it is. So, Like Me Better is the name of the EP. Chelsea, congratulations! I think it's a fantastic piece of work, and I hope the Swiss love it.
Thank you so much, and yes, me too. Hopefully they do.
Thanks, great to talk to you. Thanks for your time.